Thanks for joining us today. My name is Tian from Los Angeles, and I'm your 2020 A-List National Chair. And I wanted to thank Bank of America today for sponsoring their A-List. I wanted to remind everyone, first of all, to apply for the A-List. Our application is online right now, and it's due May 15th. Every year, we honor the top 50 producers and loan originators in the organization. And we have a lot of perks, networking events, and educational webinars like these for A-listers. And you'll be recognized at the national convention if you win. So please make sure to get your applications in. And then, we'll get started with our webinar today. I'm so excited to be chatting with 3 of our top producing A-listers from around the country. They are some of the top agents on social media and online. So today we're going to be talking about lead generation during COVID-19, starting with building an online presence, and then we'll cover video podcasting and also charity work and giving back to your community. So I'll introduce our agents here. We have Kenny Truong from Oakland, California. He's better known as Fast Agent. Kenny is the #1 agent in Oakland since 2012 in the number of homes sold, and he's done an incredible job of building his presence both online and offline. And he recently made the transition from Climb to EXP Realty. Helen Nguyen is from the Atlanta Metro, and she is actually our past AREAA Atlanta president. She's one of the top agents in the Atlanta Metro and is a team leader at a small boutique brokerage called Point Honors and Associates. And she does an amazing weekly video podcast called Wine About Real Estate that we're really excited to hear more about. And lastly, Chou is a top producer from Los Angeles. He works primarily in the San Gabriel Valley area of Los Angeles, works with a lot of Asian clientele. He incorporates a lot of charity work and giving back to the community in his business, and we're going to learn more about that today. So we're going to start with our first topic today, building an online presence. And I think that everyone knows, obviously, that having an online presence is really important these days. So I'm going to go to Kenny and tell us more about yourself, your background, how you got this Fast Agent name, and then how you transitioned that from, in person to an online presence.
Sure. So this is Kenny. So I've been in real estate for 10 years. I started this brand called, I've always been like online. I had my first computer in 5th grade, started building computers, doing computer shows in middle school, build websites like AngelFire, GeoCity, MySpace, Zanga, all that cool, fun stuff. So I've always had a passion for online and design. So I got into real estate about 10 years ago. And my 3rd year, I created this brand called Fast Agent. Hashtags were like on Twitter, but they weren't on Facebook, Instagram. So I didn't know what it was, but I had this dream that people would just call me Fast Agent. And then it was already on my license plate. So somehow I started using it in all my marketing, and eventually it dripped over to just tagging everything. And then I started putting in all my email marketing. And I didn't even put that in my thing today. I got that. Putting in my email marketing, and eventually I just been growing and growing. Everything that I do is has a hashtag Fast Agent on it. And then a year and a half ago, I started a team. I have a team of 20 agents now working for me, hashtag Team Fast. And then I recently filed a DBA for Fast Real Estate, powered by EXP Realty. And then I got flagged by EXP and DRE that team names in California, you have to have Fastness. So then I applied to legally change my name to Kenny Truong Fast. So I will be Kenny Fast in 6 weeks. Anyway, so let me show you some of the marketing that I have for you guys today. I have 5 things. I just finished these slides like a couple minutes ago, so bear with me. I'll do a screen share. A full screen share. So today we're going to be talking about building online presence. I have just 5 things to talk about. One is building on Instagram. So on Instagram, that's where I've been using Instagram pretty heavily for 6 years. You don't really see me on Facebook too much, but on average day, I probably talk to like 100 to 150 people on Instagram, like one-on-one conversations. I think that's the future of social media. It's not about the number of likes you get. It's really about like how many people you're talking to and really going deep in conversations. So my Instagram is like really random. I just post whatever thing is funny or memes, like to create engagement. So nothing really specific here except things I think are funny. And recently I started creating a lot of custom social media posts and be sharing with other agents. So a lot of my business is less so me as an agent to consumers, to my clients, or to buy sellers and buyers, but really I attract other agents. So in the last 5.5 years, I've actually recruited a little over, I think about 80 something agents now to either Climb Real Estate or EXP Realty. I actually recruited almost 20 agents this month. They're all signing on board right now with me at EXP to join Fast Real Estate. So because we're doing stuff like these social media posts, we're able to share cool stuff for our clients. And one thing I've been doing for many, many years now is doing these really playful newsletters. I have it all right here. Let's see while that loads. Playful newsletter and newsletter headers. That's where I take a pop culture theme and I generate into newsletters. So like a lot of the stuff is a combination of using Instagram and using Canva to design it and Mailchimp. So that's my kind of my Instagram strategy. And on any given day, I'll probably post like at least, I don't know, 50 times Instagram stories. A lot of it just is whatever I'm doing today, but a lot of it is like how I'm doing my business, how I'm operating a team, posting news article. Like Herman Chan has been upping his game. I've been copying a lot, using screen sharing a lot of Herman Chan stuff. He's like in my real estate news blogger now. So I used to post a lot of that, but now I just wait for him to post it and then I repost what he has. So that's kind of like a quick Instagram strategy. And these newsletters, they look kind of weird, but these are kind of like examples of newsletters I've done. So Mailchimp I was doing these Mailchimp emails for a good 5 years straight, every single week. On average, these emails take me about 5 hours, 6 hours to do. This one took me 7. I did it on the airplane ride back. It's always like something comical where it relates to people and they think it's funny. And then if you click on this, there's always a real estate article behind all of this stuff. So here's a couple different ones. Here's Frozen. This doesn't usually appear like this on the browser. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's weird right now. But you kind of get it. And when Mandalorian was really hot, I posted there, and then you kind of just create attention. So that's one part of the newsletter stuff I do.
Do you have a graphic designing background, Kenny?
No, these pictures, I get them from this site called Dribble, like dribbling a basketball, but spelled with 3 B's. And then another site called Behance. And I get asked this all the time. I've only gotten in trouble once for trademark infringement or whatnot by Planet Fitness to remove some of the stuff. But other than that, like I've been doing this for like, I think 7 years now for email marketing, never been flagged. Someone posted the other day when I did a 90-minute class on design and branding in the Zillow Killer group. And then someone said that parodies are not illegal. Because like I think where you get in trouble, you're trying to sell a like product, like chocolate or clothing or something, and you have that where people are confused. But this is clearly not, from Disney.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's the email game, and then.
Who do you send the newsletters to? Do you send it to like your past clients, just anyone in your database?
Literally any and every single person that I can get my hands on.
And do you get a lot of people getting angry that you're sending them? How do you respond to those people?
Early on, yeah, but I rarely get that anymore. Like first couple of years I was doing that, I've kind of filtered out my database. Yeah. And then I have like 35,000 people in my database, but really only 10,000 still like active or still accepting my emails right now.
I see.
And then some of the ways more recently I've been able to create, so I'm gonna jump back and forth because all this stuff is like intertwined. Some of the ways I've been really able to power and grow my newsletter list, I think I added about 2,000 people in the last, since shelter in place, is I do a lot of webinars. So I'm gonna jump into webinars. And on the webinars, what I've been doing is hosting masterminds, a ton of like top Asian mastermind in my area, California mastermind, Contra Costa mastermind. I'm even doing Napa and Sonoma County mastermind tomorrow with a title company, and I don't sell there, but they asked me, hey, can you guys help me? Because when they send the invites out to their network, I then take the email addresses to put it back in my network. So it's constantly like, I think as an agent, if you're constantly building your database, you'll never not have business. Kind of like, I forgot what the term is, like if you always get listings, and you'll be fine in any business. So for me, it's always about growing my network, growing my influence, and growing my email database. And it's fair and stuff like that. So that's kind of the Instagram strategy tied to some of the Mailchimp. And then this stuff looks pretty complicated to do, but I do some more basic stuff too that just looks really good. It doesn't take that much time if you can land down like a style. I'll give you an example. So here's like an email we did. We copied this from KCM blog, and KCM blog encourages agents to reshare their content. But KCM blog has those funky blue and yellow graphs you might see all the time. It's not as pretty. So what we've done is we've taken the same article and then we kind of give it a makeover and send this really fresh thing out. Like I sent this out and we had like 15 emails come back. Half of them were agents like, hey, can I share this with my people? And other people that appreciate the content because it looks really clean. Something else we've been doing in the email marketing space is doing a weather report. because locally, the MLS next to me, though not the one I'm in, but they do this really cool monthly weather report where they do videos and talk about like the market changes, days of market and such, which I thought was really, really cool. So then we went ahead and made one for ourselves. I have an agent on my team that's a spreadsheet master. So she actually whipped all this up for me. And now we share it as a team to people we work with. Again, this is all value-based content. So that's some of the marketing. And recently, I started doing webinars about a month ago. I've actually hosted over 20 webinars. And then, so that's two-step process, right? But then I'm marketing the webinars too. So we've been using Mailchimp to create landing page to make these really cool graphics to send out to these webinars. You know, you've seen this already. And then I've been doing this every week. See, this is example of the list of people that I'll even invite all across Northern California. We did team building strategy. And then more recently, like example, in the next 3 weeks, I have a webinar on team and brokerage models, have a webinar on recruiting and team building, have another one on just general mastermind, and some other stuff. But this is stuff that I've done in the last couple of weeks. 1 week, I was actually on 15 different webinars, which is kind of crazy. And what I did, I actually promoted every single webinar I was on, which will then increase my online presence. So I was able to be on Property, West Group, Santa Clara Association asked me to speak, and Zillow Killer, AREAA asked me to speak. So like so you're just making sure people are seeing the online you're building. So that's kind of the Mailchimp game. Zoom webinars, Zoom. Okay, let's see. So Zoom, I've been putting, I mean, like I said earlier, I've been putting a ton of events together. And then interestingly, I took my last 2 weeks of registers. I have about 950 people registered from my webinars. They're not all unique new registers, but 950 people watched my webinars on Zoom. And then it was also not including Facebook Live. So these are the topics that I kind of dived into in the last couple of weeks, which is then it just creates more influence for you, more brand awareness. And you realize like putting together webinars is not that hard. And if there's 10 people speaking, I'm only like, 10% of the work done. But because you're the one putting it together, you're able to get more visible. And then when you're on, let's see, Facebook. Oh yeah, one time I was actually on the front page of the newspaper. This is 4 years ago. That week, that's why I posted it. Let me show you.
So we have a question from the audience. Can you name the apps, websites, programs, and tools I use? I know you kind of said Canva, but
yeah, Canva. I'll go into Canva. Canva, like everything I do is on Canva. I'm trying to give you show a really cool. Here.
He designs them on Canva and then he sends them out on Mailchimp. Mailchimp has the statistics and the database on there that helps you send it out. Mailchimp is great too because it prevents it from going. If you do it from your own Gmail or email address, it's more likely to hit their spam box. Mm-hmm. So Mailchimp will kind of calculate who's opening it. It'll tell you how many times they opened it and help prevent it from going into the spam. Yeah,
and our open rates are pretty good. Let me. Here's some past campaigns. I know I have like 6-ish minutes. So I'm gonna try to go quicker. The open rate is pretty good. It's like 20 to 30%. And then we don't. This isn't as interesting, but we still do the typical just listed emails too. But it looks really clean. And more recently, we did because I had I think 4 listings last week. I didn't want to send that many emails. So one thing you gotta be very careful about when you're sending email. Every time you send an email, you're gonna get a bunch of unsubscribes. That's just the reality of it. So you shouldn't be sending out junk because it takes so long to build that database. You don't want to lose it faster than you're growing it. So when I send stuff, I try to make sure it looks really good and it provides value. This one doesn't provide that much value, but this is just a regular email showcasing our new listings. We currently have 11 on market right now. I'm now doing this instead of just doing the single emails. So it'll take up less, it's less frequent. So there's some of the things we've been doing on webinar, layering it on, with Facebook Live, and then I don't market on YouTube, but recently because I now have all that content, I am now creating that content and uploading it to my Facebook channel. My YouTube channel, which I just started because I'm just taking the same content that I already have and putting it on here, and now this is probably going to help me build my brand bigger for other people when they land on a video. So I've been sending these videos out. Specific to like an investor or a team person, but when they land here, they see all the other content I have. So this isn't, I guess this isn't as much social as it is just like showing your expertise and market knowledge. I realize like one of these videos, right? I'm only one of 6 people talking. I'm not even doing much of the work. It's just like, yeah. So that's what we're doing on Zoom. And then this, I mean, I count this as a Zoom webinar, right? I'm actually recording this right now. So as soon as this is over, I'm going to be uploading to my Facebook page. I mean, my YouTube page. And YouTube content. YouTube, again, I don't really have much of a deep YouTube content strategy except just posting the videos up online right now. But I will be hiring an outside company to do all my videos for me. On YouTube, like really flashy pictures is kind of the key driver of it. If you guys look up the YouTube agents, they do a tremendous job. They actually sent me a ton of referrals last year. And now they've been getting so much business. They've been growing their team rapidly over there, the YouTube agents. And then lastly, hold up. Canva. So I pretty much spend most of my time in Canva. This is Canva. Like I literally just made this in Canva, right? Like a couple minutes before we started this. But Canva is where I create our brochures for a company, our open house signs, our for sale, our social media, our presentation decks, the webinar flyers, and it's all here. And the cool part about Canva, which I really like, is that you can easily share a template once you have something interesting. So I made social cards for people that were attending my webinars. So you could share this with anyone to reuse with a simple click right here. So something I've been doing, it wasn't purposeful, but I started doing this and I started everyone copying my stuff. Now I just give my stuff freely. Because then now that I'm building out the Fast Real Estate brand, people might like that brand and style enough that they might in the future want to continue and make that their thing. Because now giving out the slide decks and all that, people kind of tweak a little bit. Most of it looks pretty good, but people, they're learning their eye for design. So because of that, like I feel like I'm leading forward by using my marketing to power my my team building and recruiting. But all of it kind of ties in together. And now like a lot of so we're talking about brand presence, right? So like I said, I've recruited like 20 something agents during Shelter in Place, which is crazy because in January I had 12 agents. Now I'm gonna be at 30 because I'm using this webinar that we're talking through right now, that we're layering it, promoting on Facebook, tagging every single person I can that are speaking so everyone else can see it. I might or might not attract the actual people on the webinars who can work for me. But so far, there's always new conversations coming up. And then this thing's called evergreen content. When your content doesn't have like tied to a timeline, it's just like it's content, like the content I'm showing you right now, this is forever. You can literally watch this 3 years from now and it's still applicable to your business. So when you're creating more and more content, you're sharing it and you're sharing that you have this more content like this, that's kind of how you continue to grow your online presence.
And I think it's all about being very cohesive. As you can see, all of Kenny's pieces, his branding, his posts, they all follow the same overall branding, the theme, the color, uses the same logos. And that's really important because if you're using a different color, a different theme every time, no one is ever going to remember you. So you have to be very consistent and, follow through with that on all platforms.
And that's one thing too I learned. I did the class with Zillow Killer. I use the same font. It's called Overpass for everything. And then sometimes I'll switch to now bold for like if I can't find Overpass. But everything we only use black, white, and red, and we don't use that font. And we're just constantly making sure everything looks the same. I'll give you like a quick preview too. So like the brand that I'm building right now, I made this entire 20 different icons, 26. It only took me like 10 minutes to do all this because in Canva stuff is really easy. So you're kind of playing around with different things. You're moving things really fast. So like these 5 icons and number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be the company logo that I have. And then I did vote on it, but you see like this stuff is not complicated to do. At the end of the day, we're really focusing on the font and the gap. So like the branding I have is just really, I try to keep it really, really simple.
Yeah. Someone asked, and I will ask all of you to chime in. They asked their brand is like their last name sellshomes.com. Should it be something more unique, like Fast Agent? Is it okay to brand your name? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I think the name is tricky, especially if there's a lot of people in your name. Well, in California, you have to legally, if you have a word team or group in your team name, you have to. And that's why companies like Side Real Estate are doing such a tremendous job turning teams into brokers, broker-ish people, because then they don't have to use their name. It's hard to grow the Truong team to like multiple markets, or like Mike Chou or Helen Nguyen, right? It's really hard to bring that huge.
I think the only problem with marketing, the advantage of marketing your name is obviously you get all the recognition. And if you're a single agent and your future goal is to stay a single agent, then by all means continue marketing your name. If it's like you and your wife or whatever, just by all means do that. But if your goal is to create a team someday and like step away from the business a little bit, your
and sell it,
want to be part of like fast real estate. They don't want to be part of Truong real estate, right?
Yeah.
Because they want to market their own name. So they can be Fast Agent Jamie, Fast Agent Helen, but they can't be like Truong. You know, it's just like kind of weird for them. So
yeah, and then there's, I mean, we're Asian, right? There's, I can't control how other people perceive different last names. And I'd rather have people see my work first and then like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's this guy, whatever that might be, right? So I think it's easier to build a brand versus build your name of your brand. But you can always evolve. I mean, like I said, I was Kenny Fast. I've always had Kenny Fast as my name, but then now my hashtag Fast Agent, now like every agent on my team is at Fast Agents. So like you just kind of gotta find a way to adapt with the market.
Right. So it depends on your goal, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, the Real Dick Lee. That's a cool name. It's easy to remember.
And the last question for Kenny is, do you have your broker's license? How many agents working by your side? And he kind of already answered how he's recruiting.
Yeah, I don't have a broker's license. My director of operation has one. She's advised me against it. Currently, at least right now, I have 20 agents on board. 16 are on my True team, and 4 are on my EXP team. The EXP team is just like kind of like a broker, but not. But that side is actually, I'm growing that side out pretty fast. And we're entering, I'm mostly in Oakland, Berkeley, East Bay, but now with Zoom and people seeing that tying to a geographic location and office space isn't as important. Now I'm bringing on agents from Walnut Creek area in San Jose. And I have a conversation with someone in Portland tonight to bring fast real estate to Portland, and also someone in Florida and Nevada.
Last question, actually, can you buy email lists to upload to Mailchimp?
I'm sure you could. So this is how I got it. You're not the MLS, local MLS doesn't want to give you their list. What I did, I went on a roster list. I paid someone to extract lines from it using a script on Microsoft Excel, and that's how I got my email list. Oh, Broker Metrics. Yeah, you can also get it if you know someone Broker Metrics. You do a quick export.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Kenny. Cool. Really appreciate it. So we'll move on to the next topic, which is video podcasting. So I'm going to move to Helen, and you guys can all chime in because I know we all do social media and videos and things like that. And obviously the video podcasting is a big part of building your online presence. So I wanted to have you tell the audience more about your podcast. What is it called? What do you talk about? How often do you do it? Like, do you shoot it yourself? Do you have to edit it? Is it live? You know, what kind of equipment you use? I know everyone's like thinking about getting into videos and getting into it right now, and a lot of people are scared and don't know how to start. So can you share more about how you got started with that?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Helen. We have my business partner, Tim, her, and I have a brokerage here in Metro Atlanta. We have about 15 years in experience combined between the two of us. And about half a year ago, we started doing videos to just provide more content and marketing for our business. So it started off with us just trying to come up with a name, and we wanted something catchy. We wanted something that people would kind of laugh about, but memorable too. So the joke between us is that we drink wine, but we don't know anything about wine. We just buy based on red, white, or whatever is on sale at the grocery store, right? So, you know, let's do wine about real estate. Let's learn about wine as we talk about real estate. And it gives us another reason to just kind of provide a casual atmosphere at work and just kind of chill, have a glass of wine, and talk about whatever topic we want to talk about, or whatever topic the audience is sending us. So that's how it started. We bought a bottle of wine from Costco, and Tim and I just sat there at the office. We had a tripod up. We use our phone. I have an Android. He has an iPhone, but we found that Android works better for us. I know people that uses Apple. You have the I think Apple Studios, something like that. That's really, really good for video editing. But with Androids, I have an app called Power Director. So I just use my basic camera and we will set it up on a tripod. And at first it would take us about 2 or 3 takes just to get it right. And then, the thing about that is you can do as many takes as you want because it's just you sitting there, right? And, just do it until you're happy with the content. We try to keep the videos between 5 to 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes because people are not gonna watch. It's, and on Instagram, you probably can't upload a video that large anyway. So 5 minutes is ideal, but if you have to go a little bit longer, try to stay under 10 minutes. And we just sit there, sip on wine, talk about the wine, and talk about the topic of the week. It's a weekly video that we do. Usually we film on Tuesday and edit on Wednesday and then post it on Thursday or Friday. We don't post at the beginning of the week and we don't post on the weekend unless we, absolutely have to. But before shelter in place, we find that most people are on social media on Thursday or Friday at lunchtime or at bedtime. So those are the ideal time frames for you. Of course, now it's different because a lot of people are at home and, scrolling through their feeds. But before, when people are working, Thursday and Fridays are usually a little bit more relaxing. So you're at lunch and, you just kind of scrolling through. So we tend to get more views when, you post during that time. What else? Subtitles. It's very important. One of the things that I really wanted to emphasize on is make sure you have subtitles on your videos. Most people watch videos on silent, right? They just kind of scrolling through, especially when you're at work. You don't want to have the volume up, and so it's easier to have subtitle there. A website that I use that works really well is called Subtitle. It's like subtitle but with a Z, Subtitle, and we pay $20 a month for that subscription, but you can edit up to, I think, 8 or 9 videos a month. And it's very easy. You just upload a video in there and it will generate the subtitle for you. And of course, you should go back and just double check to make sure everything is correct. But before discovering this website, I had to do it manually and it took forever. So we did some research.
Smart and really, really good point is that I know a lot of times you're in a meeting or something and you're scrolling through your phone and you watch the video, so you have everything on silent, and so you end up skipping the videos because you can't really listen. So if it had subtitles, then you probably just watch it. So that's a really good point and a really good idea.
Subtitle. Power Director is the app that I use for Androids, but of course, if you have Apple, they have I think Apple Studios. I could be wrong, but that's a really good app that I know Helen Nguyen from Denver Dylan uses that a lot. Power Director is easy. You just upload a video in there. You can edit, you can crop the video, you can add music, things like that, basic stuff that should be sufficient for you to create a good video. And then we upload it to Instagram. Of course, Instagram will link to Facebook. And then Facebook, we also have LinkedIn, and then now we started putting it on our website and YouTube. So video contents are available in all those social media outlets. And we do a monthly newsletter through BombBomb. So BombBomb would allow you to put videos in a newsletter format and send it out to your mailing list. And so we put our videos in there along with the feature listings or any news topic we want to talk about for that month. Yep.
So when you edit the videos, do you cut the videos together, or is it just one video and you just kind of
If it's something that seems a little bit draggy, like if we just going on and on and on about something, or if the video is too long, then I do cut it. But Tim and I have done this about, I think we're on our 28 videos now. So we kind of sense the time, and we kind of know that, okay, you know, we're going a little bit too long on this, so we need to cut back. So the editing has been a little bit easier, but at the beginning we did have to cut a lot of the stuff out just to make the video fit into that time frame that we wanted.
And do you always do real estate topics, or what kind of topics do you talk about?
We try to keep it mostly real estate. So I think about 80-20, 80% real estate and then 20% personal. For example, we did one for Tim just because it was his birthday. And we just kind of talk about random things about Tim, just getting to know Tim a little bit better. So I think we try to mix it up as much as we can to make it enjoyable and not real estate all the time. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's it. So weekly videos, and we just keep doing it. I mean, at the beginning, we didn't have a lot of viewers, but slowly, gradually, we're getting more people noticing our videos, and people are actually requesting to be on our video as a guest. So we had lenders who, or home warranty companies, or home insurance agents contacting us, say, hey, can I come on and talk about my topic? Can I talk about home warranty? Can I talk about, you know, what we're offering right now through Bank of America, through, you know, whichever. And we just have them either on Zoom, or we invite them to the office, have a glass of wine with us, and then we just chat. So
yeah, that's awesome. It's always fun seeing your videos every week. I think a lot of people are scared to get started, and I think when you first get started, you know, you post your first video, and like you said, you might only get a few views and you get discouraged. But, you know, the whole thing about success is obviously continuing on and being consistent. And, you know, no one is going to be successful at their first one. But as you know, the first time you have 5, and you have 10, 20, 30, and, you know, like 10 years later, you're going to have a huge following. And like Kenny said, these videos are online forever. So they're content that is everlasting. It's not like, you know, something that's only relevant today. It's going to be relevant forever. So if you can create content like that that can stay online forever and drive traffic back to your website, back to your Instagram, then it's always going to be a positive thing. Does anyone have any other questions about video podcasting before we move on to the next topic? Somebody asked, is there a voiceover on Power Director? Do you ever use voiceover?
I have done it for, not for Wine About Real Estate, but I have done it for a walkthrough for a listing that I had. So nowadays we had to do a lot more virtual showings just because of shelter in place. So I would go through the house with my phone and just do a very casual tour of the property. And then I would go back on Power Director and insert voiceover just to make it a little bit more professional. But yes, you can do that with Power Director.
Awesome. Someone asked, is there something specific you tried or changed after, you know, learning at the beginning that increased your viewership, or did it just happen slowly over time? Or is there any lessons that you would tell someone who's starting out?
I think just keep doing it. It doesn't matter how busy we are every week. We make sure to make time to film our video and post it before our deadline, and just keep it short, you know, like don't do a 20 minutes video, because you're going to lose viewers. They're going to drop off at like 8-9 minutes. So keep it short, keep it easy, and if you can, just make a list of the items that you're talking about, and just bullet points. Make it super easy, super user friendly, and I think that helps us a lot. Yeah.
How do you market the podcast? Do you pay for any advertising, or is it just purely through Instagram, YouTube, Facebook?
Other than Power Director and Subtitle and BombBomb, everything else is free. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, we have a strong following in our socials. So we haven't really ventured out to pay anyone for marketing. Yeah, it's basically just posting it on IGTV, and then we would get DMs. We would get a lot of private messages from people just saying, hey, I liked how you talked about this, or hey, can you talk more about this, or I have a question about this area, can you elaborate? But yeah, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Everything nowadays you can find free online. So, you know, try, yeah.
Power Director. Can you tell us some of these costs?
I'm sorry?
Power Director, Subtitle, what are the costs?
I believe Power Director is maybe $9 a month. Subtitle, I think, is $19.99, and you can edit up to 8 videos if you need to do more than upgrade. But $20 a month is, you know, should be more than enough for you. And then BombBomb, it shouldn't be that much. I want to say $20 a month too. And we use Canva as well, like Kenny, but we don't really, we just have the free subscription through Canva for our
Pro, I think,
videos and stuff.
Real quick, well, Canva is free. I paid $13 a month only because I want the option to upload the font. Outside of that, like Canva is free for everyone.
Right. You can do a lot with the free one.
You can
With the free plan.
one, but if you like want to have a few extra perks, you can upgrade your account.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you want the nicer graphics or more options, then pay for that. But I don't think you have to at the beginning.
Somebody asked, can they get in touch with you, Helen, on the phone directly for ideas?
Of course, anytime. You can find me on Instagram, Atlanta Helen, or I don't know, do I post my phone number on this? But yeah, just
DM her first. DM her
reach out to me anytime.
on Instagram at Atlanta Helen, and then you know she can go from there.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Well, if we don't have any more questions regarding the podcasting, we'll move on to the next topic. Thank you so much, Helen.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to Mike. So Mike is able to incorporate a lot of giving back to the community and charity work in his business. Can you tell me about how you've been able to do that, how you did that before COVID, and how you've been able to do that, you know, recently, and you know how everyone responds to that?
Yeah, you know, thanks for having me on, and you know, Kenny, Helen, you guys are doing amazing things, as well as you, Jamie, and man, I need to step it up. It gives me a lot of inspiration to, you know, like venture into video. You know, that's not one of my strong suits for sure. So before, you know, I didn't really start thinking about the question until you asked me, and because I've always just donated to things that I liked or that I was interested in, or that I had friends or family that was in need of, you know, like some type of donations or charity. For example, you know, one of my friends, and you know, I was growing up, I was always very sheltered. So I thought the world revolved around Walnut. You know, like I don't think most of you know where Walnut is, but you know, it's a very small city with like 40,000 people. And you know, it wasn't until I started like real estate or started traveling outside the world, and I started seeing all these things, and I just became like more and more passionate about like, wow, like this really affects us, and it really affects, you know, myself or other people. And I see a lot of people or people and animals, you know, struggling. And so I decided, you know what, I'm making some money, you know, and you know, it's decent, and I still have some to be able to give back. And so I just started, you know, monthly things, whether it's to like, you know, K-Love Radio. I'm not even Christian, you know, but I just love the radio station. It's super upbeat, and I just donate to them. You know, every month. I forgot how much I donate to them. It's not that much. You know, Mercy for Animals is something that I'm super passionate about. You know, of course, I donate my time to AREAA. So you know, we don't have to give a lot money to AREAA, but we donate a lot of time to AREAA. You know, Asian Pacific Community Fund, APCF, is something I donate. And I think, you know, and I started thinking back, and all these things that I did, and how it contributed to, you know, to business. it naturally comes back to you. You know, you follow, like I follow Tony Robbins a lot, and you know he's a big inspiration for me, and he's always, you know, coming from a contribution first mindset. I mean, since he was young, he always wanted to feed people because, you know, growing up, I think he never had, you know, he didn't have a lot, and someone fed him, a stranger did, you know, and so he just felt like, okay, I'm going to go out and feed X amount of people every single year. And he did that. And it's crazy how that catches on. I know utilizing, you know, Kenny and Helen's, you know, strategy, I'm sure I'll be able to get the message out there a little better. But yeah, I've pretty much, I've been getting constant referrals from people that I've given back to, or organizations that I've given back to, including AREAA as well too. So it's just, you know, but I never really thought about those things. You know, I just felt like, oh, you know, my friend had breast cancer when she was young. And I was like, wow, like 30 years old, you have breast cancer. It's crazy. You know, I mean, she's fine now, you know, she's doing well. But I could never have imagined that because, you know, like someone so young and nobody in our group of friends, and I have a lot of friends, you know, and unless they don't say anything about it, but, you know, I'm just not aware of these issues. So I think, and after COVID, you know, COVID, we just, I started to donate. I started asking my my clients, like, you know, what they needed, you know, what they wanted, maybe there's a charity or organization that they wanted me to donate to, or I have a lot of clients that are in the medical field, and you know, I started asking them if they need masks or, you know, different stuff. And it just came naturally. You know, I think, you know, when you see people in need or animals in need, you just kind of do it. So, so I guess it's not really anything different that I'm doing before or now. You know, it's just always been a passion of me to do it. And, you know, you actually end up spending, you know, you start creating relationships that are more organic, but also, you know, people tend to choose to do business with you, not because of, you know, how well your marketing is sometimes. Yeah, a lot of it is, you know, part of marketing, but a lot of it is like, oh, like this is like a, you know, like a genuine person. I just want to work with this person. You know, it doesn't matter how good your photos are. You know, I could spend tons of, and we do spend a lot of money. You know, we do videos, 3D, 2D, you know, everything on a property. Every single property is like $1,000 or more. So we do spend a lot of money on that. But, you know, a lot of times people don't choose to work with us because of you know, the marketing that we do. And I've been constantly getting referrals back. Like I think I spent every year I donate to the Oswald Elementary, their K through 8. My friend is a teacher there, so I help her. You know, we spend like $300 or $500 a year, and, you know, she's constantly just giving back to me. I never really thought about it, you know, again, until you asked me, but she's constantly referring me clients that are looking to buy or sell their home. It's amazing, you know, with $500 a year, you know, this goes so long. And I know a lot of you do donate to schools and stuff like that, but it just goes a long way. And indirectly, it affects you. It affects you in a positive way, but also, you know, you feel good, you know, when you donate to different causes and you see that your $100 or your $10 or your $1,000, you know, makes a difference. Like we donated on, you know, Giving Tuesdays, I donated $250, and so they double your, you know, donations to $500 to Mercy for Animals. And then, you know, like I got an email from them saying that there was a total of $50,000 that was donated to them. I was like, wow, that's like super awesome. You know, it's just, and you know, through that, I started, you know, just conversing with the president and, you know, the editors and stuff like that. And, you know, you just meet new people, you know, organically, and people with the same passion, with the same interests, the same likes. You're like constantly you're constantly going to have business.
Yeah.
And then,
Like like a little bit, I saw on your Instagram the last few posts, you donated like a little bit from a closing to a certain charity or something like that. Do you have your clients choose or?
Yeah. So right now I started I started asking clients like, what are, is there something that they're passionate about that I can, I had and people always love that, right? And I had a client that I had a closing recently, and gosh, we fell out escrow like 2 times, and third time was such a challenge, and it was so stressful throughout the entire transaction, right? But then but once after the closing, I called her and I said, hey, look, we had a very stressful transaction. I'm glad, everything still went through. And, this is a bonus, like I wanted to, is there something that you guys are passionate about? I would love to donate, to that charity. And the daughter loves like helping animals or shelters with animals. And so I donated to that. And it just like, I mean, all that stress for 60 days, like kind of gone away, kind of just disappeared. It was just like, wow, this is cool. Like, even after all that, you're still willing to like help contribute to our cause. So I feel like, we salvaged that relationship, and, there's going to be more repeat or referrals, in the future.
Yeah, I love that. Cause whenever I do a closing, I'm always trying to figure out like, what's a good closing gift, trying to figure out, what, do they like wine? Do they like whiskey? What kind of gift should I get them? But this is amazing. You just ask them straight up, tell me a cause that you really, really like. I'll donate a couple $100 or whatever instead of a closing gift in their name. And I think that makes, it's just amazing. You're giving back to the community. Everyone is happy at the end of the day. And yeah, one of the audience members asked like, who's going to talk about lead generation? And I think, it's funny, the whole point of lead generation, I think some agents think that lead generation is just door knocking, cold calling, sending out email blasts. Sure, those are great traditional lead generation methods, but you're getting one client, you're reaching one person or wherever, directly you're reaching. But all of these things that we're talking about today are all methods of lead generation, right? And they all tie together. Building your online presence like Kenny did, online and offline, and tying that together, using video to enhance your online presence, using charity to give back to the community and show that you're a genuine good person. Because, right, as salespeople, realtors, we often can look like the bad guy, right? So, I mean, you just want to show yourself, your personality, you're genuine, you give back, you share your personality through video, and that is going to bring a lot of business to you and referrals to you in the long run. And even with Kenny, like a lot of people might wonder, why is Kenny sharing all this information with other agents? They're like, it should be like top secret information, right? But really, none of this is top secret information. All the top agents are doing the same things, and he's gaining from it. He gets referrals from all over the country from it. He's recruiting agents. It's all about building your presence online, whether you're providing info to agents, whether you're providing agents to homeowners. It doesn't really matter what you're doing, but you just need to generate your presence and generate more activity and draw the traffic back to you. So I think we covered most of the topics that we wanted to go over today. So I'm going to open up to questions from the audience. And I do have some questions here. Let's see. Oh, somebody also asked, when is the A-list deadline and can lenders apply? Yes, of course. The A-list deadline is May 15th, so it's coming up soon. Go to areaa.org/A-list, and yes, lenders, agents, teams can all apply. And you'll get a lot of recognition and perks for being an A-lister. Besides for doing online marketing for lead generation, do you guys still recommend traditional door knocking, cold calling, or what other traditional methods are working for you that you guys do besides for online? Feel free to jump in.
I think you just do what works for you. I mean, if you have the time, then do the traditional route too. But I'm always on social media anyway, so I figured why not use it for my business as well. So it's easier for me, just because we're always on the phone, and it's good to incorporate business into it. But if you're more of a postcard person or door knocking. Door knocking is not for me. It never really worked for me, but if it works for you, if it works for the market that you're farming, then go for it. I don't think you should limit yourself to anything.
Totally agree. I think it's all about consistency and then also not spreading yourself too thin. You need to figure out what works for you. Like I'm the same as Helen, I hate door knocking. I don't do any door knocking or cold calling. I just don't. That's not my personality. I don't like it when people knock on my door or cold call me. So I don't like to be too intrusive, but I have plenty of coworkers, friends, and peers that they door knock for 20 hours a week and they get tons of listings from it. I mean, we all know what we're good at, and you have to, but it's all about consistency. The most successful people in the world don't do a million different things and new things every day. They do the same thing over and over and over again. They get better and better and better at it, and they do it consistently, and they never get tired of doing it. That's what makes the difference between a top agent and a non-successful agent, is they do it over and over again. They continue to grind, and they don't get tired and burned out. And so it's all about consistency, but the most important thing is figuring out what you like to do, because if you don't like to do it, then you're not going to do it. So that's kind of my take.
I don't door knock or cold call either. It's just not something I've ever liked. We do farm pretty heavily, and then we do a lot of community events too. I didn't talk about that earlier. Like we volunteer for my team. We usually bring my team out to our local elementary schools, and we volunteer and do reading to the classes, or teaching them computer coding, or just monitoring it a couple times a year. Last year we did something pretty cool. I don't know if Kevin Cruz is here, but we partner up with because I work with Oakland Education Fund quite a bit in Oakland, and then they partner up with this company, corporation, nonprofit called Oakland Giving Tree, and then Oakland Giving Tree actually donated almost 8,000 backpacks to Oakland, and then Oakland Education reached out to me. I was like, hey, can your team come out and give them away? Then I reached out to Kevin Cruz, and he actually owns a moving company, so I tried to rent a truck from him. He ended up just hooking it for free, but we made a big day of it. We had like 14 people on our team. I think it was like a 30-person event. Over 2 days, we delivered backpacks to a bunch of schools. We hired a film crew to come out and create some pretty cool videos. I didn't even upload it yet. It was like from last August. But that's something, you want to be involved in the community too. And I think like we do a lot of more like traditional marketing. I had 100 bus benches in Oakland that was getting pretty vandalized at some point. But now on the bus bench, it was this big, 90% of the bus bench actually has a design on it called Oakland, Inspire Oakland. So I partner up with an Oakland nonprofit called Oakland Digital. Their whole thing is helping high school kids and college kids get graphic design degree. So they have a competition every year. It gets about 180 to 200 entries, and they pick 6 winners. The 6 winners originally, before I was here, they Clorox, the bleach company, would buy entire humongous billboards that ran like a month. There's like 10 grand each a month on it. But then they reached out to me. I was like, hey, why don't we partner up? So then I actually put all their art on all Oakland. So now when you drive around Oakland everywhere, it's really cute designs. And then in the corner, it says on the side, it says Oakland Digital. On the bottom, like very, very small. I'm less than like 3% of the entire ad I paid. This cost me like 100 G's a year. But it's just a community sponsor, fast agent. So like just trying to find ways to like give back to community, but be subtle about it. Kind of like how Mike is giving it, but he's not asking for business. But when you're out there and you're able to support community, people start talking about you. And then the things they say should be pretty nice.
Yeah, I think like, for example, your bus benches, that's like just branding, and it's just tying it back to your branding online. And
the whole point is just driving people back online, and then if they can get online, they get lost in the marketing, and that's what people.
Hey, Kenny, I saw your bus bench. Can you sell me a house? That's not going to happen.
No, that's never happened.
That's going to happen, then it's not going to work. But it's about tying your branding everywhere so that you're, it takes, they say it takes
a lot of time. Yeah.
5-10 times for them to see your face before they remember you. So your face, your name, your brand, they see it at the grocery store, they see it at the bus bench, they see it online, they see it on their Facebook ad, they see it on social media, and then they see it on a postcard, and then they remember you as
a on Zillow, they go on Redfin, they see the review. It's like, I can't stop seeing this guy. You know what? When it's time to go, let's just give this guy a call just to see if he does anything.
I'm sure you guys all have experiences when you go to the listing appointment, It's like they're telling you, like, we've seen you everywhere for the last 10 years, It's like ridiculous. I mean, they weren't ready to sell at the time or buy, but you drilled it into them so much that when they're ready, they're going to call you, basically.
That's why like social media is so important. If you can make people laugh, they're gonna remember that versus, oh, you made a big sale. Good for you, right? Or you helped the buyer. That's also great. But who's your clients? Talk about the clients. Talk about their experience, like how hard it was, how great it was for them, not you. I think like a lot of storytelling is like helping them be the hero of their story.
Yep, definitely. What do you guys think about brand names like Trulia, Google, Zillow, like, and using something like that for yourself instead of, like words that don't really mean anything as like brand names.
That's, I mean, huge prop. I thought about side real estate earlier. I remember in January, I had lunch with Guy Gao, the owner of Side. They had like 200 brands on their side at that time. They're growing even faster now. With 500 agents, most of their agents are probably doing $30 million a year in business. But they're helping agents create their unique brands. Like I know in San Francisco, there's like Mosaic, there's Kinetic, there's Ascend, there's just all these like big blocks. So there's all these names that people are using instead of their team names, and I think that's easy to remember too, and they can give a color and a flavor to it. Oh yeah, Samantha. Oh yeah, Samantha was portfolio. Samantha is portfolio real estate. So side, there you go.
Exactly. How long did it take for your social media lead gen to take off? Do you put any money into social media ads?
I used to, but not anymore. Now everything's organic. I just do like stories, but like the COVID post I recently did, I did as a it's not that funny about COVID. I was like, watch, I will run ads, let people know where to get blood tested and COVID or drive-through testing, and then you think about it, like if someone gets a free COVID testing, they remember where they got it from, and it's like guys from social media ad told me about it. They're never gonna remember where they got the COVID testing from. So this $200 spend I did for a month, like if I get a deal, right, what's the size of that? So like I do spend on certain ones. I usually do it ironically or just for fun.
Yeah, I think you know, spending money on leads is something that you can do, and I did as well. I used to do a lot more than I do now when I was, you know, first getting into the business. When you're first getting into the business, if you can afford to spend money on marketing, sure. I mean, I'll obviously focus on the things that are low cost and free, but if you can afford to spend money on boosting some of your posts, you can do that. But just know that, I mean, in my personal experience, when you boost your posts and stuff, it's really hard to get an actual like lead or something from it. You will get like likes and stuff, but it's fake and it's not organic. Building your followers organically is the only way that you're actually going to get, you know, long-term followers and people that actually engage with you and also will refer you or, you know, bring business to you in the future. So, I mean, it is, you can do that, but obviously it's not sustainable. A sustainable business has organic leads. Thoughts on Zillow leads? I know Kenny does Zillow leads. Are they still working for you? Has it changed since COVID?
It's dropped a lot. 3 years ago, 2017, we spent 600 grand on Zillow. Over $500,000, and next year we did like 300. That first year we broke even. So it's just slowly been declining. It's just with Zillow, they're usually everyone. You should just assume everyone you're working to that's not a referral is shopping multiple sources. That's just the reality of it. And then I think Zillow is struggling at one aspect. They're still driving traffic there, but the problem is the messaging. Zillow, like you go on there, you're looking at homes and then or estimates, but then like people like HomeLight.com or UpNest is very, very clear what the messaging is. HomeLight does a ton of radio ads and TV ads that says, we'll connect you with the best agents in your market. Okay, great. I'm gonna go there. I'm not even gonna like vet these agents or they'll send me 2 recommendations. Or UpNest, we do like 4 or 5 deals in the last year off UpNest. UpNest is we'll connect you with the best agents in your market at discounted price. And then what's Zillow messaging? I love Zillow, but I don't know what messaging is. But then with that said, that's why that's not a big revenue stream for them. And iBuying is where they're starting to profit off. And Zillow is going to be converting into Zillow Flex at some point, I think in the next year and a half, where every single market in the US, if they can get this thing running correctly, maybe they got some delays from COVID, is to take 35% on the leads and give it to the agents. I think the first market they went into, I think it was maybe North Carolina or somewhere. I have it in my notes somewhere. 90% of the agents went on and agreed to do that.
Yeah. I think, so you're still going to maintain, your plan is to still maintain your Zillow for now, or?
Yeah, we still have it. We do a $3,000 spend just because I have 467 reviews. It would be dumb or a waste not to keep some of it going. But we're not that heavy on Zillow anymore. At some point, it was like 70% of my business, and I think it's like 30%.
I feel kind of the same way about it. I when I first started out, I spent, I mean, I did not spend nearly as much as you. I spent like up to 5-10 grand at some point per month just for Zillow leads for myself, and amazing. You know, there was a couple of years where it was amazing, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. So last year I decided to cut it completely, and you know, my production didn't go down. So
when all these online lead sites, right? Realtor.com is flipping it to that model too. It's in the future, it's either going to be someone else is doing all the work, generating leads, converting it to a conversation for you, and they're taking a huge chunk, or you're generating your own business. And this is why this panel, we're talking about how to create and attract their own business. Because it's one way or the other. There's not going to be many people in the center, and those people are going to get squeezed out.
Yeah. All right. So it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to ask the one last question, and then I will wrap it up. Somebody asked, and I think it's a pretty good question. What do you think, I'll ask each of you to give a 30-second spiel. What do you think is the best source to spend $3,000 per month on marketing? That might be hard to say in 30 seconds. I'll start with you, Kenny.
I mean, if I had to do it again in a different way, I would take all my friends out for dinner all the time and connect with people. Just really find ways to engage in making people feel special and valuable. A lot of the top agents in my virtual client, the top agents, they're all like dinner and referral and wine kind of things, and they do high end. So I would do that if I wasn't all about scaling.
Yeah. How about you, Helen?
Same with me. I would spend that on my past clients, people that I work with, just, take them out. Or if I recently sent one of my past clients baby items because I saw online that she's expecting a baby, and it's just an Amazon box that arrived to her house. I didn't even tell her that it was coming, but she opened it all surprised and then texted me, "Hey, thank you so much." And then she sent me a referral. So most of my business is organic, or because of the referral rate, just nurturing the pool of clients that you have, the people that you work with. There's no need to go out and spend thousands of dollars on, these websites that tells you that they're going to give you all these leads when, you have your sources right here. Just use what you have.
Yeah. And Mike?
Yeah, same thing. If I could go back, I would definitely, take care of my clients, a lot more, and do the charity thing, way from the beginning, and that's always going to give you the best return. Not only do you feel great, the clients feel great, the community feels great. You're giving back to society. That's always a great thing. Leave you guys with one quote from Tony Robbins: "Only those who have learned the power of sincere and selfless contribution experience life's deepest joy, true fulfillment."
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I hope it was informative. Thank you again for Bank of America for sponsoring the A-List. And don't forget to send in your A-List applications by May 15th. Thanks, everyone.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.